We ended last week on a huge cliffhanger. What if the dollar was no longer the currency that ran the world? What if the world returned to the gold standard? And today, we are finally answering these questions. Welcome back to Revolution Read On, a daily podcast where we break down one story from the world of business and finance. Click on the subscribe button to never miss an update from us. Here's your story for today. But why did we start asking these questions? For two reasons. Firstly, Russia's central bank fixed a buying price for gold, which could be a step towards the gold standard. Secondly, because of the declining faith of the countries in the US dollar, which has been the dominant global currency since 1944. And faith, my friend, is everything. It is what makes gold a safe haven, a must have in your portfolio kind of an asset. It is what takes a meme coin like Dogecoin, which has no intrinsic value, to crazy highs. It is what moves the stock market. Yes, it is our faith that adds value to these commodities. And if the world no longer has faith in the dollar, well, the dollar will be worthless. But why are countries losing faith in something that has been a constant in the world economy for so long? According to the IMF, the sanctions that the US has been issuing on Afghanistan, Iran, and now Russia has made the rest of the world fearful. These sanctions basically froze these countries' dollar reserves stored in foreign banks, making them useless. Other countries now fear that the US could do the same to them at any time, that the money they've amassed so painstakingly could be worth nothing. So, dollar reserves held by countries have declined from 70% in the 1990s to 59%, a 25-year low. And that's not all. The US's tendency to print more and more money and constantly increase its debt could lead to fluctuations in the dollar, making it a poor long term store of value. Huh? Well, a commodity is considered a store of value if it remains stable and useful over a long period of time, which is why gold is considered a store of value. What's worse, the US's economic growth has slowed down since 2001. Though 2021 was a blockbuster year for the economy, 2022 is probably not going to be that good, with the predictions of a recession floating around. Even after all those troubles, it will take something very serious to shake up the current world order to make countries denounce USD. But if it does happen, so kaun banega next global currency? Number one, gold. Yes, we could go back to reliable old gold. How? By linking the currency of each country to its gold reserves. This could stabilize the entire world economy and lead to much lower long term inflation rates. According to a 1998 study by economist Stephen Harmston, gold's purchasing power has remained mostly the same since 562 BC. 1 ounce of gold could buy 350 loaves of bread in 562 BC and also in 1998. Its purchasing power remained the same for so long, at least where bread was concerned. And that's not all. Central banks won't be able to print money as and when they want. They'll only be able to print money equivalent to their gold reserves. So, with no extra money chasing goods and services, we can say goodbye to hyperinflation. And if we did go back to the gold standard, India would be one of the richest economies in the world. After all, we have the ninth largest gold reserves. But there's a reason we left the gold standard behind. You see, gold can't be mined too fast, and a growing economy needs a steady supply of money. If we cannot ensure that, then our economic growth will slow down. Number two, Yuan or digital Yuan. One of the currencies that most countries picked up while dumping the dollar was China's Yuan. The country, which is one of the US's biggest nemesis, now wants its currency to rule the world. So it's been pushing for adoption of the yuan, even giving out major loans to developing countries to build their infrastructure. What's more, it's also been in talks with Saudi Arabia to price oil in yuan. If that happens, the dollar's importance will go way down, with yuan becoming the new it thing. Also, China has been developing its very own central bank digital currency, a centralized cryptocurrency, for years now. It is one of the most advanced CBDCs out there. So, if the world decides it wants its new reserve currency to be digital, the yuan still has a major shot. But the problem is that yuan only makes up 2.5% of global foreign exchange reserves. This is because of China's earlier policy of tightly controlling the currency. Number three, Bitcoin. Talking of a digital future, Bitcoin is also a serious contender for the global currency. It is decentralized, meaning no one country can control it. It is limited in number, which means no unlimited printing or hyperinflation. And it is blockchain based, giving transparency to all transactions. But so far, the coin has been super volatile. Very few countries have accepted it, and that too begrudgingly. Though the coin may have won the people's favor, it will probably take a long time to win over our policymakers and economists. Other worthy contenders include the euro, which is the second most traded currency, the Japanese yen, which is the third most traded currency, and the British pound, the fourth most traded currency. Another potential contender that the world is yet to see is a global stable coin. One coin to rule them all. This has the potential to transform not just our payment system, but in fact our entire financial system. We could completely do away with intermediary banks and just connect directly to the central bank of each country. No more bank frauds, no more worrying whether your money is safe. However, despite there being so many strong contenders, the dollar probably won't be fizzling out anytime soon. Yes, people's faith in the currency is shaking, but the US is still the world's largest economy and holds immense influence. Let us know which currency you think has the potential to be the next global reserve currency. And that's your story for today. Thanks for listening in. Make sure to follow this podcast if you aren't already. We'll be back tomorrow.